and wanting who have come to the dream. Anything is possible at my stream. You can do anything at my stream. The infinite is possible on my stream. The unattainable is known on my stream. Welcome to my stream. This is my stream. Welcome to my stream. Welcome. This is my stream. Welcome to my stream. Welcome to my stream.
And let there be light. Cool. Test, test, test. Mic's on. Good. All right, welcome in. So, yesterday we started on the Shohei Ohtani One Piece inspired card. I played around with it a little bit off stream yesterday just to test a couple things which work. We might do a couple little things in Blender. Because I think I can mock stuff up better in there, but I don't really know how to use Blender. So like I mocked this up. If we set this to like, you know, kind of looks like that. So this shows better how it's going to look printed. But that's something we'll deal with later. I think I found a tutorial online on how to do holographic stuff in Blender. And it looks a lot better. It looks a lot more accurate to what would happen. But anyway, this is where we ended up yesterday. So all of this is inspired by One Piece cards, specifically this Borsalino card. It's got a lot of holographic stuff going on. So we're going to continue that today. We have this in one of my mockups already, so we're going to just open that up, go in a couple steps, and then we can get started. First things first, I'm gonna let a couple people hopefully trickle in. I got a package I'm gonna open. I wanna see what this is. Completely missed the tape. Dang. I got a comic case really cheap because someone was just selling them like at cost. So I want to put this in it just because. All right, cool. Yeah, that's worth it. I ordered this a while ago, so I was wondering where it was coming from, but put this here. All right, back to what we want. Back to the real show. Okay, so what we want to do today is we want to flesh out some more details of this. If I pull up, I don't have it on here anymore because I got rid of the artboard. Let me just draw. Let me just draw an artboard. Is that not how the artboard tool works? This is so stupid. All right, let me just crop this down to about there. Let me find this card. And it's really what we're going to do is we're going to add just some details across the board. Stuff to make sure that when we actually print this out, it's actually going to look good if we were to ever print this out. Now everything I make, though, I try to make it as if we can print it out. I just have no idea where this downloaded card is. Hold on, hit date added. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. So this is where we're at. Let me just get rid of this stupid artboard. Okay, so what we have in here, we've got all this stuff. I'm gonna put this into a group for the design. So we ended adding this sort of stuff at the bottom, which is at the bottom of some One Piece cards. I think I do want to add text to this area just because I feel like it's a little empty. So we're going to do that. Let's just do that first. So there's different types of One Piece cards. You can have blockers. I'm going to have this be a rush card. I just need to find one. Because they have a bunch of different like activations when you play a card. Hold on. I have a card somewhere. All right, I found it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some text to the side here. So I'm going to draw a text box. We're going to type random stuff in here. We're just going to make stuff up for Shohei Ohtani. Let me pull some cards out to look at, just to verify what we can do. So we'll do on play. We'll do... And what we're going to end up having to do, essentially, is put this all with, like, a big white barrier. And they do a really good job of having, like, a white border on their cards that looks not like garbage. Let me do that, and let me do that. Okay. So I've got the cards here to look at. And I'll just show you on screen what we're going to do, essentially. But I need to find a font to use for this. So obviously don't want it to be this ESPN font. We want it to be the font probably we're using at the bottom. Let's make it like a regular trade Gothic. We don't want it to be all caps. And then we're going to put this in. We're going to put this into a group. And then we're going to give this a stroke. Kind of like that. We're going to give it a stroke of white. And then all the text is going to be black. Okay, so there's a couple things that we can do. So we're going to make some boxes now. What do we want? We want... Yeah, this will work. So we're going to draw a little box like this. We're going to make it orange. This is going to be for the character rush, which basically means they can, in the game, it means they can attack on the same turn you play them. For us, it just seems like he would be someone who can do whatever he wants. Oh, I didn't add. Yeah, I did. That was weird. Sharp. Sharp. Okay, so we're going to take this. We're going to put this up here. We're going to say, wow, it's not working. Rush. And you can rush characters or you can just rush anything. We're just going to rush anything. Rush. This is going to be white. Wow. And for this, see, what is going on? It's up here now. We want this here. This just isn't doing anything we want. Okay, so we're going to make this smaller. We're going to have it say rush. We're going to grab this. We're going to grab this. We're going to put this there. Make sure stuff's not exploding. This is so stupid. I keep getting emails from like people who are like, oh, we want to teach you how to day trade. I'm like, I've never said anything about day trading. Why would you even think we want to do that? Okay, so we need some sort of text to go here that makes sense for Shohei Ohtani. So we're going to go to ChatGPT. Let's type in ChatGPT correctly. We'll detach it here. We'll do this. Okay, so here's what we're doing. I'm making a facsimile card of Shohei Ohtani that is One Piece inspired. I'm giving him the rush attribute, but I also need an on-play attribute. That would be a fun little line for his card. Give me an idea. We'll see what this says. Yeah, this makes sense. I really want to lean into the flavor of baseball. Make them longer sentences. Okay, now make them more One Piece themed. So I think what it needs to say is like, no, we're gonna go back to this. It's like, yeah, on play. Like this. Okay, we're just gonna make it up because this is just silly. Hold on. Rush at tribute text One Piece. I want this specific text. Oh no, that's blocker. So rush is fine. Okay, so we're gonna have rush here. So I'm really complicating this. Then we're gonna do on play. Just want this to be the same size as this. And we're gonna make this blue because on play is blue. Just like a generic blue color. It's a little lighter than that, something like that. Take rush, move it over here. Take this, go on play. Oof, on play. Let's make this 0. I think the font's too wide. Okay, so on play, we're gonna stretch this out a little bit. And then this needs to be a little bit rounded. Kind of like that. All right, so this text is a little too large now. The weird thing is like the on play really does look like it's like really in there. So we'll do this. What font is this? 15.86. Okay, so we have on play and we have rush. Which goes first? Whatever. On play, rush. Okay, so now what we do is we can say on this, we'll do this. This needs to be not as bold. We'll make it regular. If there is a player with a hold on. Oh, I got it. I know what we're going to do. Okay. So the players have attributes and like cards. So it'd be like if someone has a power of something. So if there's a player with the attribute Los Angeles Dodgers in play, this character has the choice, or this character gains during this turn. Okay, so we're gonna make this. We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make some stuff happen. Let's do this. Okay, so this needs to. Oh God. So this is gonna start here. This is gonna be smaller. Let's do 16, so it kind of fits. And I want this to be like this. And we want it to go like that. We need this to be like this. Okay, so this is good. This is sort of what we want. We're gonna make this larger because we need to take this rush. We need to do this and say unblockable. Oh wow, I did that, really? Okay. Unblockable. Okay. So we'll move this over to like that. Then we can just grab this rectangle and just move it over so it fits unblockable in it. And then we just go like this. We can just move unblockable over a little bit. And then underneath it, we can put in, they have on here, this can be bold oblique. This card cannot be blocked. Which is sort of just the instructions for unblockable. Okay, so this is the text. So I like that. If there's a character, this good. Okay, so we're gonna take this text, we're gonna rotate it. Usually this is down here. I don't want it to interfere with our cool design, so we're gonna rotate it because we can do whatever we want because this doesn't really matter. We can just make it smaller and fit it right here. We could make it small and just put it right here, but I think this is fine. We'll go like that. So I think this is pretty solid. Let's just change this stroke to be 7. Okay, so we're gonna save that. It's got 10 life. 10 life is too much. No, he has like 5 life. Why is this 10? Oh, he's a cost of 10. He's a leader though, and leaders usually have like 5 life. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So now we filled this area up. That's good. We've got Shohei breaking the plane in some areas. We've got this breaking the plane in a lot of areas. I think what I want to do, that's the border. We're gonna hide the border for now, because we're gonna break it. Because I'm gonna take this, and I think I want to do something that's on the Borsalino card. And I don't want this to be a perfect circle. I want it to have some movement to it. So we're gonna rotate it like this. And this just looks like it has more action than what the other one did. And we're gonna have to tweak a couple things up here. So like, if we turn this on, we invert this. So now it's going in here, but we need to remove where we want parts of this to go from. Obviously this can't go below it. All the text can actually go up above everything. Kind of like that. So that's good. Shohei's there. So we need to kind of go like this. Can I go like this? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, there. So that works. Okay, let's get rid of that. So this is doing more down here now. It just has more of an effect. I think we can tilt it even more to where his hand would go. So let's do that. So we're going to take these and we're going to tilt it like that. I think that's powering up, and then he's going to swing it around. I think that looks pretty good. So we'll grab this. We'll grab this, and this. Go here, delete this. We'll mask this again. And we'll invert it. And this is just masking out the blue so we can see the text. Kind of like that. And then anywhere where we think it's a problem. So I think it's a problem here. And this is just hiding the border. So really, if it's just anything on the border looks wrong, we can just hide it. But this looks pretty good. I think this is what I wanted. Okay. I'm going to hit save there just so we have that going on. We do need to figure out something for the background. We need to probably add some more effects to him himself. And then we need more just stuff, I think. And then what we can do is we can add more details to these guys. So I'm going to put these in a group. I'm going to duplicate them, turn them to a smart object. So now this is one whole thing. Great. And now what I want to do, I want to take this, I want to select, modify. I want to contract this a couple pixels because I want more details when we print this off. Let's do like 4 pixels. And then crop it to there, turn this on. This is set to normal. So if you see, it doesn't really do anything. But if we give this an inner glow, that to multiply, and we make it blue, it's not going to do anything because the inner shadow is here. So this needs to be up here. Interesting. Okay, so like this is what I want. I just need it to be in here. But we have all of this stuff with the inner shadows. I think I just need to do this. There. Okay. That's what I want. So I want the inner glow to be multiply. I don't need it to be 40. I only want it to be like 5 or something like that. What if I just turn this off? Because the color overlays is okay. So we're going to color overlay this. So it looks like that. The color overlay is what? White? Yeah. And then we'll group this together. Then we'll give it that inner glow. Yeah, so it's adding a little bit of stuff to the inside of this. We just want to set this to be a darker color. Ugh. Maybe not. It looks really bad, doesn't it? Let's do this. Inner glow. I think that's kind of fine. We do need to fix this. So we need to grab this and delete it. And we need to delete everything here. But then we grab this and then we just paint back on where we want it to actually be in front of Shohei. So we did that before, but we moved everything. So we need to figure out what's in front of him. So I think this is fine. This is probably fine. And honestly, we might do this. It's going to really give it more depth. And then we just drag that here. So it's the same. So we're adding in just a little bit of details to the inside of where this white is. Because this white's not really going to print that well. That's why we might want to give the color overlay on this. We might want to make it, hold on. If you have a mask selected, it's not going to select a color. It's only going to select black and white. So if we give it a color overlay of like this, and then we give this the same color overlay, except we make this lighter. Yeah, that's pretty decent. And the whole reason we're doing this is because if I go like this, design, it's going to really break. But if I hit multiply, it's going to show me what it's going to look like. So this is all going to be transparent. And that's sort of the idea. So we need some stuff up here to make it so you can still see it. And what I can see on the card, and it's the funny thing is the card's really hard to see. But like there's definitely a very much a blue edge to it. And then there's also some stuff on the inside. So we're going to set this back to normal. This is good, except we need... I'm very confused. Sorry, I'm confused because I need this. We drew this circle. So somewhere there's the circle's being masked out. Is it here? Yeah, we just need to draw this back in. Okay. Right? Yep. Okay. Because we want the circle to be a part of this. Or we want the ball to be a part of this. So the ball is the thing that's sort of giving up energy. So it's glowing. And we'll make it glow. And we'll add some effects to him, I think. And I think that's what we need to do today. So we need to add some effects onto him. which usually I would do with a Wacom tablet and time, but we don't have that because we're doing things fast. All right, this is what it looks like now. So this is pretty solid. I like how this looks. Hopefully you guys like how this looks too. I do want to grab this, however. Oh, let me turn this back on. Yeah, it's good. And I want to paint right here. I think this looks weird if it's not over his leg. And then I think here as well. I'm just going to do that in both of these spots. And here. Okay. So we've got that going on. We don't have this orb up here though, so we need to add this orb. Orbs in chat. Orb. Let's see what happens here. Oof, that looks really bad. Oh, it's because it's only painted to... What is this? Why did I only paint to there? That's really weird. Okay, well, we got to go in here and we got to paint more of this. It's set to 100%, so that's good. Go like that. Okay, there. That's better. We've got Shohei down here, so we can start adding a little bit of effects to him, I think. I think what we need to do is we need to darken up the background or do something with the background. So the background is just this photo of Shohei. So I'm going to group this together and let's just hit a bunch of buttons. So I downloaded a drawing effect action last stream because we added some effect to Magnus Carlsen. We're going to do the same thing here. So if I go like this, just doing a filter gallery so I can check up on messages on Twitter. Blah, 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 blah. And look, Shohei is now colorful. Shohei is now this. So I'm going to put this background copy up here and just set this to color, set this to overlay, set this to multiply, set this to 5, sort of like that. So look, now he's all colorful. I'll turn this into a smart object. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. The cool thing too with One Piece cards is which we're going to try and figure out if we can make it look this way. We probably can in Blender, but I don't know how to use Blender very well. Is they have a lot of varnishes on it that do a lot of cool stuff. But we're going to go to the filter gallery and we're going to just punch this up a little bit. Yeah, with glowing edges. Let's see. Color pencil looks really bad. I kind of want it to be paint. I kind of want it to look like this. Ooh. Sure. I'm really just trying to make it look somewhat cartoony. We're going to make a new smart object be a copy. We're going to turn this to a smart object, which sort of does the same thing. We're going to go into this. Can I do that? Is that a thing? All right, so we're going to turn this to a smart object. We're going to go to image, mode, grayscale. We're going to get rid of all the color. It's going to say, you sure you want to do that? I'm going to say, yeah, that's what I want to do. Oh, that's what I wanted. Okay, then we're going to turn this to a smart object. And if you get rid of all the color, when you do a color halftone, there's no colors to use. So it's just dots. So it just looks like this. So we can do color halftone of like 4. Look like that. We can go back here. We can just set this to luminosity. And that adds some color to the back. Or you can set it to overlay. And then get rid of the current object is white and go like this. We'll do that. All right, so the background's now a little bit more sketched up. And looks like this. Which looks kind of bad. You think that looks kind of bad? Yeah, I think that looks kind of bad. Let's get rid of this layer. And then let's group this together. I think let's do one more. There's a filter that I think something to do with ink. One of these ink outlines. I think that's what I want. But I think I want ink outlines without all the crap on it because it's going to be... It's loading down here. It's going to see all of those edges, and it's going to make all of those edges look like this. So this is what we want, but we need to go in and we need to undo some of the stuff we did. So we get rid of the filter gallery here. We go in here. And we undo the drawing effect. I think we just want to do these ink daubs. And I usually don't use these filter galleries just off the rip. I used to play around with them all the time though when I was in middle school. I'd take photos of me playing baseball and just be like, what does this do? What does this do? Ooh, see how bad that looks? Why does it look so bad? I think I might need to like blur it so it's not as grainy. And I think that would fix it. Stroke length does that. Light intensity, dark intensity. Oh, it's loading so slow. This is like, oh, I think this photo's big, so it's just like really, really mad. Okay, let's go in here. Let's go to filter, camera raw. And then we're gonna go to the color, I guess detail. We're gonna bump the noise reduction up to 100%. Which actually doesn't look too bad, but it's really, really soft now. So it's getting rid of a lot of that grain. We'll bring it back here. And honestly, if we like how this looks, if we like how this looks, we can apply it to the top Ohtani. What would be better? It would be to have some sort of sketched out version of him. But this just looks really bad, doesn't it? Stamp's not bad, but I want it to be really smooth. And have more balance of light and dark. Let's do this. And then we can set the filter gallery here. Any smart filter, you can click on these guys and we can make this multiply or overlay. Oh, multiply is fine. We'll set it to multiply at like 90% or 50%. And then see, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm just messing around to see what looks decent. We're gonna posterize it. And this might be wasting just a bunch of time, but I want to see what this looks like. I'm just using the tools I have at my disposal. Okay, Brad. Posterize is an adjustment. It's right here. You were in the right spot to begin with. The funny thing is, I think we need to posterize it in here. And then give it some layers and see what happens. This looks so bad, doesn't it? Let's just save this and see what it looks like back here. Because we really don't care about the background. We care about things looking cool. So I think it might be fine. I think what we can do is we can just add a gradient map to this. And then just add an inner color of whatever the Dodgers hex code is. And the color they gave me on Google was wrong. We're going to use the color on teamcolorcodes.com because they know what they're doing. And we're going to move this color over here. I'm going to kind of do this. So then the background is somewhat contrasting, but not really. And as you know, we're spending way too much time on this background. But backgrounds are important. Yes. Problem is, there's no color contrast now. What if we go like this? And go like this, and go like this, or go like this. Whatever. We'll do this. We'll pause on the we'll pause the background. We'll work on some other stuff. There's a couple other things we can add to this card just to make it like hilariously overpowered. And we can add a counter over here. The idea with this card, I guess it's not a counter, it's a leader, so it can't. Is we can add more stuff to make him look cooler. Okay, so this is fine, but we need to go here and go like Yeah, for what it's worth, the Dodgers hex code from the style guide is much different from what they were in the field. I believe that. Style guides are weird. Colors are weird because, like, it's funny because, like, the University of Dayton. Let me show you this. Team color codes. Dayton Flyers. So the Dayton Flyers, these are their codes. This is their hex code. This, like, pinkish red. They never use this. They just use, like, Coca-Cola red. Like, we made a bunch of stuff to go around their arena, and we didn't use this at all because it's too pink. We literally told them, just make it Coca-Cola red. And we went from there. And it worked out fine. Do we set this to normal? I think we go like this. I think that's sort of a play for the background. All right, so we've got leader Shohei Ohtani. We've got text on here. We've got him here. I think we need to do some stuff on him himself. So I used to do this a lot more often. I haven't done it in a while. Man, I need to drag this down so we can see what's going on. Drag this up so you guys can see it too. There you go. Okay, so we want an exposure. We want a curves. We're going to duplicate the curves a couple times. We're going to mask all of this to here. Okay. So with the exposure, we're going to do -1, which is good. We're going to go to our curves layer here. Oh, I don't want that. I want this so we can see what's going on. All right, we're going to do rim. We're going to do light. And we're going to do dark. And we've got an extra one to play with. Let me hide this. Let me move this over here. You can see what's going on over here, which is good. This is what we want to pay attention to. We also want to do an adjustment of which one? Color balance. And we want to make it a little bit colder because the light is being cold. Kind of like this. So now it's colder. So we sort of are setting it into a scene. Okay, exposure's there. Rim lighting. Okay, so rim lighting, what we want to do is we want to click on this. We want to move the bottom up so it's lighter. We can go to blues and we can up the blues then to make this blue. And if it's not the right kind of blue, we can play with the greens and we can add green or take away green. I think adding green is pretty good. We're going to grab Shohei here. We're going to select, modify, contract. Let's do 2 pixels. And we're going to delete and invert. No, we're just going to delete. And then we can set the feather to be like 3.5. And then we just gave it this little tiny rim light. We can go a little bit more with it. So I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to go select, modify, contract. Let's do 4 pixels. 4 is a lot. You don't want this to be too much. You want it to be little. I usually do 1, 2, or 3. This is a bigger file. And then we can do a feather of like 4.5. You can see if we turn this off and on, just gives them a little bit of a rim light. Now we want this, we don't want this to affect blacks. So we move this in our blend if we move it up a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing on the light underline layer. If it's like, I don't know, 100, 110. We're actually going to duplicate this bottom one. And we're going to delete the layer mask and see what we've got going on here. So we want this to be completely black, and then we only want to paint where it's going to be light. And sometimes I'll make the exposure, I'll play with the exposure the whole time we do this to see what's going on. We're basically neutralizing this. So it's sort of a median gray. And then we can go in here and we can paint with light and say, okay, well, I want this to be lighter. I want this to be lighter here. This would be affecting his face, so we can lighten his face up a bit. And this is at 100% opacity. This is really bad. Usually you want to go in and you want to lightly do this. In 2.5, that's too much. Let's do -1. So this is we're gonna lighten this up. And I'll usually do like 3 or 4 different layers of this. But we're just gonna quickly do it. We're gonna add another one here. And you can see how this looks bad. There's no coloring. Another way we can do this is we can do a hue and saturation layer and we can set it to colorize. We can select the hue we want, add some saturation to it like this and lighten it up. Like that. Then if we apply that to this, see, that's so bad. We can do underline layer to blend this in a little bit and it'll look like that. Now, I'm going to go back and paint this all back in, but I'm going to paint it in really gently with like an opacity and flow of 20. So it's just barely showing what's going on. Showing what's going on for Shohei Ohtani. So we're colorizing this. Maybe we set this to like 50%. And then the dark layer, you're going to drag this down and do the same thing. We don't want it to affect lights though. Kind of like that. And then we invert it. And then we paint where things are supposed to be dark. So like this side of his face would be dark, or like this side of him would be dark. And really, if you do this, this doesn't look, oh God, this doesn't look too great. Because we want to spend a lot of time figuring this out. And we're not doing that. We're just kind of haphazardly coming in here and painting because we want this to look cool. Okay. I don't like doing the exposure. I always put it down to like 0.5. The funny thing is we could make this like a Sub-Zero card. One thing I like to do too is another way is I'll just add a color layer of a solid color of like, you know, whatever the color is and just set it to color. Set it to, yeah, color. And then we'll do whatever that thing is. But this is hilarious. Do something like that. And what you would want to do is you'd want to really go in, and it takes a while to figure out where, what is colored, what doesn't get colored. So like stuff close to Shohei obviously gets covered. The back of his hand would actually technically be like kind of dark. But this is better than nothing. And what happens if I just get rid of both of these at the bottom? If we just get rid of the exposure, I think that's probably fine. And the hue and saturation layer, maybe we set it to like, we set it to 100. It looks fine, kind of like that. I'm looking at his face and it's just bugging me. So we're going to lighten his face up a little bit. But there, we did a little bit of something, but nothing that looks terribly great. We're going to go to adjustments, selective color. We're going to attach this to that. We're going to go to the blues and we're going to make them a little bit darker, a little bit more cyan. Wow. Oh, I'm saving the file. I'm like, it got real mad. You can really play with the blues here. We go to the blues. We make the blues more blue. Make the blues darker. Make the yellows. Let's do that. Let's go to the yellows. So you can add a lot of coldness to the yellows, but I want some color contrast. So we're going to make these more yellow. We're going to make the reds more red. By doing that. Okay, I think that looks good. One thing I'm going to do though, because I feel like it, is we're going to do a curves layer on his eyeballs. We're going to pop them eyeballs. because people love the whites of people's eyes. Whites, eyes, pop, 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 pop. We'll do hue and saturation layer. I'm just gonna do this because I do not care. Yes, I do care. This is why. This is why you don't do it here. You do it on the actual color itself. Yellows. And then you just add this color. It's really not yellow. It's actually blue. But there, now his eyes are better. So it looks better. I mean, just having a little bit of effect, I think is better than no effect. All right, so that's what we have. We can probably add like more things, but we don't need to. I think what we can do is we can start fleshing out how this looks. The background's bugging me. What we theoretically want is color contrast. So like I could technically take this gradient map and we could make it the Dodgers' other color, which I think they just stole from their logo. And they're like, oh no, trust me, this is a color they use, this red. And then we're gonna group this all together. Here's what we're gonna do. We're grouping this all together. It's going to take forever. We're going to hit select subject, which is going to select theoretically Shohei Ohtani. We're going to do a select, modify, expand. We're going to expand it 15 pixels. And we're going to say, hey dog, how's it going? Can you just remove him, please? Okay, thanks. And we'll just get rid of him. So then it's just going to be this weird, funky, really just random thing. Is it not going to? Okay, it's doing it. I thought I was going to say no for a second. So we'll turn this into a smart object, and then we're just going to blur this a little bit. Gaussian blur. 15. 20. 50. 35. And then the background's going to change, and then it's going to be red. And we'll see if that's good. It's not bad. It's not good. It's not bad. It is what it is. I think we just want to make it dark. I think we just need to make the gradient map just black and white. Because I think if we make it black and white, then what we can do is have the top of it really pop in color contrast. We should really actually make it something else. I'm looking at some One Piece cards here. I think I know what I want to do. Let's go to Envato. Gimme. Swirling clouds. Let's see if they have swirling clouds on here. We can make our own swirling clouds. We want this. I really like how HDR this is. We're going to go download this. So this is a motion graphic, but we're just going to steal a frame from it. Okay. So we're going to have that open. It's going to take forever to download. What we're going to do is we're going to take something like this. We're going to boost up the contrast a billion. Make it darker. We're going to combine these together. We're going to filter, blur, spin blur, and then we can have this sucker spin, and we want the blur angle to be a billion. But we're gonna do it with this other one because this other one has way more contrast and just looks cooler. And then once we fix this background, we'll start creating the white layer. And then we'll call it a day with that. And then we might be done with the front of this card, to be honest. I think it looks how we want it to be. What do you guys think? I want to know what chat thinks. Okay, so we're just going to hit a couple buttons. Okay, so now I want to I think I can warp this actually. I think warping this might be better. Doing a... Oh, that isn't a thing. Okay. Filter. Blur. Radial blur works pretty decently. As a spin. And then we do like 50. Okay, 50 is a lot. 25. 25 is better. 10. Maybe that's not what I want. I think it is what I want, but not really. What I want to do is I want to liquefy this. I haven't used the liquefy tool in forever. So here's the liquefy tool. You can do a spin with it. Where it does this. And this is really what I wanted to kind of do. So I'm going to spin it so you can still see kind of what's going on. And we're just going to paste that behind Shohei like this and put it right here. And I just think this is a better background for Shohei. Kind of grounds him a little bit better. It just needs to have more contrast with it. So we'll go here. We'll go to camera raw. And we'll hit some camera raw buttons on this. So we want more contrast. We want the highlights down, the shadows up, the whites down, the blacks to be blacker. Let's add a bunch of texture, a bunch of clarity, a bunch of dehaze. Let's add a little bit of grain. We can vignette it for no reason and then hit OK. So now it's darker. So now if we go like this and we multiply it, set it to like 5, I think that's good. I think the problem is this. I think that's better. This seems better. Okay, so let's say this is our design. So we save it. It'll save automatically here, which is the first layer of our template. So it'll update in a sec. It'll update in a second. 86% done. How you guys doing today? Save that here. Then it'll update in here. And it might have looked better with the original background, but this is sort of the things we tinker with. We're trying to make things perfect when we should just hit go and just accept that less is more. But I think this is going to look cool once I figure out a couple things. I think that looks fine. It's less contrast, right? That's mainly what it is. They look better, just original. They might have looked better before we even touched anything. Okay. Here's our design. We're going to duplicate this layer. We're going to hide the top one. We're going to name this white. So we're going to give this a white overlay, color overlay of white. And then what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what gets printed white, what doesn't. So the background, I think, needs to be printed white. We're going to put this into a group together. And we're going to do under current layer. Anything that's kind of dark, we're going to do that. So we have this swirl going on. We're going to have this other sort of swirl on top of that. We're going to group these together. Everything we do, we're going to put into a group if we want it to be part of the background. Can I do this, or is that part of a different group? No, that's good. Okay, so we've got this group. So this here, we want to be able to see through in the back. And then we're going to turn this all off because we don't want to see this. So you can see we can see through it. So we need to get rid of this one too, like this. So then it's printing all of that. But we really want this to be a part of that. So we need to go like this. So now it's printing the white. So we say this needs to be white, but we want to see through parts of it. So we have stuff through Shohei. We can get rid of some of this stuff that doesn't really matter. We have this done. We have this. What is this? It's just the ball. That's... Actually, we don't want the ball. Where's the ball? Do we have the ball somewhere else down here? We need to turn that off. And then what is that? We almost need to cut this out of this. And then this and this. Ah, we need to do that. Okay. So this is all going to be see-through and transparent, which is good. This is what we want. Okay, so everything up to here is good. Everything up to here is good. So I'm going to put this into a group together and see what else we need to cut out. We need to cut out this whole shape because we want everything behind the blue to be holographic. So I'm going to grab this, turn this to a smart object. We're going to grab this and we're going to just cut it out of the back and then hit invert and then hide this. So everything gets cut out, except we don't want it to be cut out of Shohei himself. So we need to just paint this. Oops. We need to paint this back right here, which is good. Now we want all of the text to have fully white behind it, so that's good. We need the strike to be out, which I think it is, because that's part of what we did there. That might be everything. I think that's good. So now what I can do, polygon at the bottom is good. This is good. We need all the text to be opaque. Okay. So now if I turn the design on and set it to multiply, it looks like this. And this is what the design looks like now. So that's why we added all of this fun stuff here at the bottom. And we can tweak anything in here. So if we think we need more stuff here, we can tweak this color overlay. We can make it a little bit more blue, or we can go in here, we can draw in things. But all of this is then holographic. So if we save this and go here, that's the difference from RGB, CMYK, and Pantone color systems. When did you say that, and what is that relating to? RGB is great, CMYK sucks, and Pantone nobody uses anymore, and it's really annoying. Are you saying because of the Dodgers hex code is different? That makes sense, yeah. So we're going to save that here. So all of this white is actually holographic. Yeah, comment above. That's what I thought, Pete. That makes sense. So we're going to save this here. And then we're going to export these and put them into this Blender model just to see what it looks like. And then tomorrow, maybe we come in and we add more color details so things are a little bit more clearly seen on the card. This is just taking forever to update because we duplicated the whole thing. I do like how this looks though right now. Updating smart objects. We just have to end the stream here because it's just taking forever for things to update. It's going to take 4 more minutes. Save that, go here. And while those are saving, we can actually do what I want to do. No, we're going to do it here, I think. Usually what I'll do is I'll separate these. I'll just make a duplicate of this. One's the CMYK, one is the white layer, so we can make as many CMYK layers as we want. And then there's just one white layer below it. And then we do all the holographic stuff faking in here as well. Okay. So that's what the card looks like right now. So let's go back here. Let's figure this out. We get rid of the hollow. We're going to get rid of this. Okay. The white is here. That's good. So I'm going to make a new layer. And just make it black. And just turn this on. Is this not fully white? Oh, that's weird. Okay, so this is what this looks like. I'm going to hit save here just so I can go here and export this out. And then we can export the full color top and we can put it into a Blender model. So let me open up Blender. A while ago, I was poking around Blender to figure out a better way to showcase card designs. And none of that knowledge stuck. But I have a file set up that I followed a tutorial on YouTube on how to make like a holographic texture. I think they were doing it with like a Pokemon card. It looked really cool. So we're going to do that. So that's right here. So that's this big weird file. So we're just going to go back to Photoshop though. If it opens. Yeah. I'm just changing it because like on the cards themselves, they don't have any horizontal cards. I'm just making it horizontal. Or are you saying I should rotate? I should rotate the text. I have it that way so when you rotate the card, it reads from top to bottom. So it reads here. I get what you're saying though. Maybe it reads the other way. It's one of those things where like, I don't really care. It's fine. We added the text for giggles. Top. Oh my gosh, will you let me, what? You're not going to let me save this file? What is going on? Yeah, book spines, books, I get what you're saying with book spines. Look at this. It's not letting me save this. It's being really stupid. So you're saying I should flip this text around? I think I also want it to be nice and flush down here. I'll use that as an excuse too. Everything is broken, I think, because I have Blender open. Oh, my computer's backing up right now. That's the problem. The thing takes forever. Shohei top. No, Shohei mask. And then we'll go back here and we'll just turn this on and just set this to normal. And go back here and then we'll export this out. Then I'll show you what it looks like in Blender and then we'll call it a day today. And then tomorrow I think we'll fine tune stuff that looks weird. And then we'll see how that works and goes. And I mean, I can see the holographic is already like, this is wrong because his fingers need to be on here. So we need to fix that. But there's so much stuff on here to fix or tweak. And these files are so giant. It just takes forever to save things out. But what do you guys think of this design overall? It might have looked better from yesterday. I think we poked around. I feel like sometimes I poke around too much and sort of muddy things up a bit. But that's all subjective. I think it looks pretty cool. So we're going to save this out as Shohei top. All right, this looks fine. So we're just going to save this. We're going to hide this. Okay, so in Blender, the way that this is set up, Blender has better abilities of creating textures. I have After Effects mockups, but the After Effects mockups don't have the ability to do, I'll show you, to do this. So this is top, I think. And then this is mask. Oh, I'm zoomed in a little bit. There we go. So if I go to render image, it looks like this. I think I did them backwards. Please hold. I think I need to swap these. So this is the mask. Oh yeah, and then this is the image. I had these on here backwards. So I can render this image now. And when this renders out, it's actually showing the holographic texture through it more accurately. So if I were to... I can make this... If I were to make this have motion, it would show the crackling in the background of this effect. I just don't know Blender well enough to make it look perfect yet. But it does look pretty nice. So like what I did originally was, I think, let's do this. Can I? Is it not letting me do? Why is it not letting me do anything? It's probably because I'm rendering. Where's my render? So I mean, it looks like this right now, which looks pretty cool and sick. But let me exit out of this. Yeah, so I'm gonna add. So like if I can just go here and like, rotate it like this, and let me put it back. I gotta move it over here. So if it's like right here. I want to insert a keyframe. See, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here because I forget how to do this. What do you got? Jump to keyframe. Auto key marker. See, this is where I forget what's going on. Keyframe, and then we move it here, and then we rotate it and we do something different, like this, and then we oh god, and then we keyframe, and it theoretically should work, but it's not because I don't know what I'm doing. So we're not going to worry about the keyframes because keyframes are weird, but I'm just going to mask. I'm just going to put this in here like this. Just gonna move it over a little bit. Okay, and then we can go to render. We can render this image back out. And this has a texture to it. It's got this holographic texture to it automatically. So let me just zoom out here like this. And then this is what our render is gonna be. And then I can tweak it in Photoshop. But you can see where the cracked ice is coming through automatically. And that's where we might want to add a harder edge of color to really border it up. Or add in some darker colors just like you would if it was like a cartoon. So it's not just all white. It has more color contrast to it. But this has, what is this? 46 seconds left. So we'll let this render out. But this is the Shohei card right now. So I think the only thing we really need to do to it is, let me zoom in so you guys can, oh god, zoom in like to there. All right. So I think what we can do now is just play with these flares and this energy sort of thing going off and just give it more of a structure, more color to it. And then it'll pretty much be done. And then we'll be at a good spot. So this is what it looks like. There. Looks like this. So I can save this image. Change this to show hey mock. Save image as. Goes there. Then we can open this up. I mean, I could do straight on. Date modified. I have no idea where this saved to. We didn't say tell me to go somewhere. Where did it save, guys? Where did this save to? Oh, Blender stuff on my design server. Now you're gonna save to my desktop. Desktop's easier. So now we'll go in here. We go to Photoshop. And then we can tweak this a little bit. Adjustments. Let's go curves. Let's go what should be white. Like this should be pure white. I mean, that looks just better. And then this should technically be black. Looks pretty good. Where's the darkest part on here? This? Okay, so that should be black. That should be white. This looks better. So here's the card. So we can probably do like a select subject on this. Mask it out. Maybe we grab this background. And we'll just paste it in here. We'll just put it behind it. Oh God, do not crop. Do not make a new artboard. Do not collect $200. So we can put this back here, but we can like darken the hell out of this. Let's just go to exposure and let's just go with there. So here's the Shohei card from today. So like a One Piece card, you know, it's got, this is fully opaque. You can see everything down here good. You can read this text great. Up here is opaque. The whole border you can see through, but you can see all of this stuff through it, which is cool. So the only thing we can add to this, I think, is we can add a little bit more texture and flavor in Photoshop, and then we can add some more definition over here so we can actually like see what's going on. But it might look better if we make it move. We can see it a little bit better, and that's a lot of things too. Like if we had text on here, we can add text too. Where is it? Let me find a card real quick. Let me go here. Let me go. Just me. So like we could have text like this, sort of Japanese text, like right where his name is, or something like this on this Gengar. We can have text behind him. So we're adding a little bit of flair to it because it's not actually, I mean, we already broke it, so it's not a Shohei Ohtani card, or not a One Piece card, so we can just do whatever we want. So I think we'll do that tomorrow. So I'm going to save this out to my desktop and share this, but we'll continue tomorrow with this to finalize some details, and I'll figure out how to get this to work in Blender how I want. But I'm happy I brought this back out of Blender because this looks cool. Like this looks better. You can tell what it's going to do when it gets printed. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Someone's supposed to come to my house between 12 and 4. I told him to get here between 12 and 2. So the hours might be a little bit different tomorrow. Just be aware. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Share this with your friends. If you have people who like card design, share this with them. Say, hey, go hop into this guy's chat and tell him what to do because he'll listen. And with that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys